industry concerns. To Jay Vroom, keeping track of potentially damaging studies is one thing his association is supposed to do.
Then we would be remiss, and so would our critics if they aren't doing the same thing. But it has nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do, with influencing the National Academy of Sciences or this report.
But a draft of the report written last fall under Susan Offutt got some committee members hopping mad. Frontline obtained this letter from the study's chairman, Dr. Philip Landrigan, a renowned pediatric toxicologist. He implied that her report was watered down. He charged that somehow the report had regressed and lost substance, that case studies had been blurred, that the work of the committee had been diluted and delayed by forces acting within the depths of the academy.
Did he tell you what he meant when he wrote in his letter that changes from other sources seem only to blur and confuse the report? Did you all discuss that?
No, we did not. Having spoken with Dr. Landrigan about his concerns, he has told me that he is completely reassured about the course the study is taking. Whatever he meant by that letter was not the subject of our meeting, quite frankly.
Weren't you curious about why he would write a letter like this?
As I said, I've learned not to speculate on other people's motives.
After my interview with Susan Offutt, Dr. Landrigan wrote to Frontline to say that the committee has now reestablished control over the children's study. His letter says that the current draft is the best the committee has produced so far.
I mean, is there any way to know when we will be able to answer the question raised by the report in the first place? What's the impact on infants and children of pesticide residue in their diet?
First, we have to see what the committee says. What do they recommend actually be done? Then the question is, if they make a recommendation for a change in practice or a change in decision-making, is that something that the executive branch can do on its own? Then the question is, if they have the ability, the legal ability to do that, will they do it? That's got as much to do with politics as it does with science. The other issue that can arise is, based on what the committee actually says, is there legislation? Does the law of the land have to be changed in order for the recommendations to be implemented? Then you got the Congress and everybody, you know, with a dime to put on the table as part of the debate. It might require amending the statute. How long would that take? It hasn't been amended in a while. I don't know.
The fruits of government ripen very slowly.
Well, that would be a good way to put it, yes.
It's going to be 10 years, 15 years before there is any significant change in the patterns of exposure in the diets of infants and children as a result of this National Academy of Science report. And that's if the system works fast.
But nothing happens quickly today when it comes to pesticide regulation. After the Reagan administration cut back the EPA's pesticide program, 10 congressional committees rushed to the rescue, and Congress began to issue a flurry of often conflicting demands.
Now, it's unclear who knows anything about the subject. The markups are scripted. The debates are scripted. Everything is now sort of canned, and the senator becomes a performer. They deliver the script, and you're never sure.
Tom Jorling was a Senate staffer 20 years ago when Congress first ordered that pesticides be tested for safety.
And so you had a proliferation of staff. Now when I come down here, they can't even get a schedule together to bring the staff together, much less get a meeting with the members. Now it's theater. You come into this room during a markup and it's filled with high-paid lobbyists. The media are covering it. The staff have given scripts to their members. They read the scripts.
I know that our staffs have worked diligently to examine all the unanswered questions.
There are now more than 300 congressional staffers working on some part of federal pesticide law. The members have all they can do to keep up with the debate.
It's a process now that has been removed from the accountability of the individually elected senators, and it has been transferred into kind of a theater where the staff play a much more dominant role, where the arrayed interest groups play a much greater role.